Hey, coach, a framework that I use a lot of times when I am helping coaches through, Dan Tutor stuff or through my busy coach stuff is something that I happened upon when I was a head college coach myself from a book called Work the System. But this was the framework that he presented. And he basically said, right, you have a system for everything and everything is set up perfectly for the results you're getting. So I took that and ran with it as a college coach and kind of broke down my steps to the process leading to results had to do with strategy, process, metrics, and people. What I want to talk about in this video is the strategy, one or two strategies that I implemented in an effort to leverage my time, my resources, my people, right, that I had to get better results with no more effort than I already was putting in because I was pretty maxed out. So one thing that I did, I had to set a much bigger goal, and that goal that we committed to was get a commitment on or shortly after a campus visit. With that goal, what that did, it did a few things. Is first, I would say I was operating on, I had a lot of time to get things done. And I didn't have a lot of times to get things done because when I became a first-time head coach, I got the job in April, right? And I needed to get 10 more kids for that next class. And go out and get the next class real quick. And so I didn't have a whole lot of time to do things. And I compressed the amount of time to get things done. There was no way that I could double the output and double the effort that I was doing. Cause like I said, I was already maxed out. What this new goal did is it forced us out of our current mindset and approach. There's no way that I could keep doing the same things I was doing to get to that goal. There was no way. So it forced me to think bigger and think differently, which was good. It simplified, like it eliminated 80% of the things that we were doing. And it really, we were able to dial in on just some few core things that were going to move the needle for us. We removed everything else. We then dialed in what were the things. So if the goal is to get a commitment on a campus visit, we knew that we were making better connections with these kids through ID camps versus just meeting or watching them play at tournaments, because we got to coach them. They got to meet us. They got to feel our energy and, go through the way that we say things and do things. We were able to see if they responded well to the way we coach, right? We, instead of recruiting all over the country and going in, an inch deep but a mile wide, we went a mile deep and found pockets of the country that it was just easier. It was so much easier to recruit these kids because we had better referrals. For whatever reason, kids from that part of the country were interested in going where I was going. So instead of fighting the battles of, overcoming perceptions of more local kids, we just went out and found better pockets of space, went a mile wide, inch deep, worked much better for us. We asked better questions. I believe that the quality of kid you get and the speed at which recruiting goes depends on the quality of questions you asked. We set up a different system for showing up with each phone call with an objective of getting a few questions answered. And just the way that we did it, we got better information, we got new information, and it helped us move kids up, down, or off our list a heck of a lot faster. We started to record some of the questions that all of the questions that recruits are asking us on the phone. And then with that information, we took all of those questions and we sat down with our team in 1 hour in a team meeting. We got an entire year's worth of social media posts that proactively answered all of the questions that recruits are asking of us. Now the strategy we started to implement was, not insulting the intelligence of your teams, right? But how many times you got to tell them something before they get it? Usually more than once. And so I wanted to not just tell a recruit why she should come and play for me. I wanted to show them, right? So now, they're hearing things, they're seeing things, we're using more senses. It just clicked, and it attracted those that wanted that. It repelled those that didn't, right? I mean, different things, right? But we basically 80/20'd our recruiting to-do list. Then two principles that were key because we knew what we needed to do. We wanted to make sure we had to be able, we had to set ourselves up and be very strategic about how we were executing on it. I believe not all tasks are created equal and not all time is created equal. Would you not agree that there's probably one or two items on your to-do list that will move the needle faster on your recruiting than any other, right? And then something that not a lot of coaches consider is when, right? What part, when in the day do they have the most energy and focus and they get interrupted the least? That, if you can align those two things together, you are going to leverage and get 4 times, 10 times the results in that 1 hour. For example, if you've got 1 hour to work on your recruiting, what do you work on? I used to start at the top of my email, work my way down, which is a horrible way to work through recruiting, right? Because recruits don't come in priority order in your inbox, versus thinking about how can I leverage my time is I wanted to get my best recruits to the next mile marker. So it's 1 hour, the same 1 hour working on different things, much different results, right? That's how we got so much more done in a shorter amount of time. Is we just figured out when is our magic time, right? As a staff, energy good, focus good, fewest interruptions, highest leveraged activity, or the biggest, the 20% of things that are really going to move the needle for our program. We just did that all together. We got so much more done and more impactful things done. It made a big difference. And then this, I stole this idea from Brennan Marchard, but this is, it's a battle board. We just needed to see it. We had to keep it front and center. So we'd get busy, we'd get off track. It was there staring us in the face, and it was hard to get away from, right? When you were looking at your goals every single day, it made it hard to not adjust. That made it hard to not work on some of these things, right? Because we keep seeing it. And I don't know about you, but I mean, I would feel guilty if I wasn't working on some of these things. So I keep your goals front and center and find ways to make sure that you're moving the needle with your program every single chance you get, right? But these are some ideas for some of the things that we did just strategically different to leverage our time through different strategies, right? Started with a big goal, right? Start with a big goal that gets you to rethink and reevaluate, or gets you doing different things. There's no way you can keep doing the same thing and get a different result, right? You got to think bigger. And because with bigger thinking and a bigger goal, there's really only a few things that are going to allow you to get there, right? And then all the other stuff is just noise. We got to key in on what is each in each group and then eliminate all the things that aren't going to help you get to your goal. But that's part of the strategy that we worked on that helped us leverage our time. I hope that helps. Again, subscribe, share this. Would love to get your feedback on all these things. Or again, if you want me to help you set these things up for your program, please reach out, Mandy at busy.coach. I would love to help.